back again. We at another playground. This is Raglan Jr. coming from Next Generation Landscaping. Does this place look familiar? As it should. Over there, all the way over there in the parking lot, we cleared that parking lot out of a lot of weeds and stuff like that. That we had cleared out. It's called the name of the video is called Tripping. I'll put that up there in the link below so you can check that out as well. Okay, so yeah, but we came back over here because the lady from the Civic Association called and asked me to come take a look. She knows that we can't do nothing now, you know, because of the, you know, the wintertime grounds and all of that stuff. But she said, you know, I told her that, you know, we'll look into it, you know, spring summer action to get it done for them in the neighborhood and the schools and stuff like that, if the janitors don't come in and get it done as well. Okay, it's not the actual playground part. The actual playground part is, you know, it's pretty much intact. It's just around the playground that's concerning, you know. But without further ado, I'll show you what I mean by it's not, you know, in too much of a bad shape. Let me show you. So the actual playground is not in bad shape at all. You know, it has padding, it has all of that stuff, okay? So the kids are pretty much, you know, good, you know, when they're coming and stuff like that. It's just the surrounding area, okay? So when you got tall grass around the surrounding area of the playground, it can be kind of an eyesore for the kids, you know. It can be a kind of an eyesore. So they just wanted it, you know, cut down and stuff like that. And then on the outside, it's a little worse on the outside too as well, you know. So and then another thing that's a pet peeve of mine, and when I, you know, told the lady from the Civic Association, she totally agreed with me. I don't like trees where you can't see down into the playground. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at it, let me show you. So if you're looking, you know, when this tree right here gets leaves, that tree over there gets leaves, this tree right here gets leaves, you're not going to be able to see into the playground. And then you're going to have this evergreen here, that evergreen there, and this one right here is about to spruce up too as well. And you got this one, which one? This evergreen right here is in a literally a blind spot. You know what I mean? So it's literally in a blind spot, whereas though nobody can see. And then once this one get leaves too as well, you won't be able to see into the playground, which I really believe is a hazard, because if somebody's there, you know, playing with their, you know, letting their child play on the playground, and somebody comes up and you know, tries to, you know, snatch the kid, or you know, does something to the mother or the father or something like that, nobody can see what's going on. So let me show you. So if you're walking up to the playground, you can't see. So basically what we'll have to do is get permission to cut this tree down. As you can see, it's already been cut once before. So this one already been cut once before, as you can see, they're in the base, but it just grew back up. So we'll just have to get permission to cut that down, and get permission to cut this down too as well. That way you can see over, you know, into the playground. You can see over into the playground. That won't be a hazard. Then you're walking, you can see, but with all of this, it's just you know, with the grass and the cracks and stuff like that, anybody walking can literally, you know, trip up over themselves or stuff like that. And then, you know, with the rocks and how they did with the street part, it can be a real hazard for the kids that's walking to school. But there's nothing I can do about that. You know, they'll have to get the county to come out to try to do that, as far as, you know, the paving and stuff like that. But that's a real hazard and that can hurt. But we could get the weeds out of the cracks all the way up. But once this tree gets leaves, this tree right here, see, even with this small tree right here, you're limited with visibility, you know. And then once this tree gets leaves, this tree, you won't be able to see down in there. So you have to be able to cut some of this stuff, that way you can see the kids playing. And then you got this big tree right here, so even when you're coming down the street, you can't see. You can't see, you know. So it's a pet peeve of mine. I have to be able to see. If you don't know by now by watching my videos, I have to be able, you know, to see, you know, what's going on, what's happening. And especially when you're dealing with kids, you got to be able to see what's going on at all times. I don't care if you got teachers out here, I don't care if you got parents out here. It really doesn't matter. All it takes is one instance for something to happen. You can't see, you're in a blind spot, you got kids at risk, anything can happen. So we got to take all the precautions that we can just to make it safe for the kids. So if I'm across the street like I am now, you can't see. You literally can't see. Until you get right here, you can see. But once you go down further, you just can't see. So the main priority is being able to see down into the playground area on all angles, along here and along here. You know, if somebody's here, they can see from down here. They can see down here. That's not a problem, but it's just limited visibility on the other side. Okay, and then, you know, with all the leaves and the high grass that's going down up against the fence, we'll cut all that stuff down too as well, and get all of these cracks that's just overgrown, that's just going all the way down. That's just overgrown, and it's not too inviting when you coming down the steps. All right, so, and then as you can see, you know, how the grass is going all up along the fence line right there. And, you know, by it snowing and raining and stuff like that, in the wintertime, it's just matted down. So, but once that spring get here, it's going to spruce back up, and it's going to get wild. And she was talking about this part in the back of the school, right here, like when they're, you know, coming up the ramp for the disability kids. You know, it's just grass all over the place here, grass all over here, you know, and then all in the cracks right there, up there. You know, it's just a hot mess all over the place. Okay, so with this playground that we're gonna do, you know, we can do the cutting and stuff like that, but the main issue with this one is visibility. You got to be able to see on all sides when you're dealing with kids and playgrounds. When you're dealing with parents, kids, and playgrounds, you got to have visibility on all sides. I don't care how many people out here. All it takes is for a couple people to come here and disrupt. Okay? So, you know, we're going to get this one on the list too. Don't forget to check out that video tripping that I had above. I'll put a link in the description. That way you can see how we cleared all those weeds out of the parking lot. It was a whole lot of it. It was a hot mess, boy, I tell you. Man, it was a hot mess. But it looks like they're getting it maintained, and it looks like it's, you know, staying a little maintained since we did it the last time. Because, you know, when we did it, it was, they couldn't even walk without tripping up and getting somewhere. So yeah, check that video out. You won't be disappointed with that one as well, okay? But it was a hot mess. Yeah, so but yeah, it's just visibility, cutting down trees in order to be able to see down to the playground, okay? And we got visibility on this side, and we got visibility on this side, but we need visibility on this side. All right, so that's another plan. It's another playground that I put to the list. It's another playground that we're going to plan and budget for, okay, for the springtime and the summer. All right, so this is Raglan Jr. Do me a favor, as always, subscribe to the channel, give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment. All feedback is good feedback, in my opinion. Help out the channel a little bit, it'd be very much appreciated. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, okay? So when you leave that comment, let me know if you agree with trimming the trees down, or do you think they should, you know, stay up. Everybody has their own preference, you know what I mean? But I just like to see and see what I'm dealing with when I'm dealing with kids, elderly, just being able to see, period. You know what I mean? Because I don't want no place for nobody to hide to do nothing. And even when somebody's walking up the street, somebody can be hiding behind the bushes and do something. You know, they can pop out and do something. You know what I mean? If it becomes late at night and somebody's walking up the walkway here and somebody's hiding behind this bush, something can happen, or that bush, or whatever. I mean, anything can happen. But if you cut them down and make them visible, you won't have a problem, okay? So yeah, just leave me a comment. You think the trees should, you know, get knocked down, or just trim them up, or just leave them how they are, and everything's fine, okay? All right, so but I did another video as well about overgrown bushes and people hiding behind bushes. It's called Beware, okay? It's called Beware. I'm gonna leave the picture should be above somewhere, but I'm gonna leave the description for that as well. That would be very informational for you too as well. Keeping those bushes cut low, because people can, and I got a example in there for you too of what may happen. It's a little funny, but you know what I mean, it's a little different. But you know, I do, you know, my skits and stuff like that too as well, just to switch things up a little bit, you know, for a little laughter and stuff like that. But you know, some of it's, you know, good, you know what I mean? So yeah, check that out too as well. That'll be very informational, and I think you will like it, okay? So as always, this is Raglan Jr. coming from Next Generation Landscaping. Don't forget to leave a comment. Do they need to be cut down, trimmed up, or just leave them alone? All right, keep persevering by any means necessary. Until the next time, see ya.